Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And tonight we're going to be talking about Supergirl!
Season 4, episode 15. Oh brother, where art thou?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got two brothers that we're dealing with tonight, so the title actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We'll save what happens at the end for the end.
Yeah.
But, what did you think of the episode?
I enjoyed it. Like, a lot of things happened and a lot was revealed, I guess. Seeing Lex again and his, like, snarkiness.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
His, like, sarcasm.
Mm-hmm. I loved the story he told about Lena's mom.
Yeah.
And then we find out that it's actually a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I kind of believed it, but then I was like, yeah, he's Lex.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I don't know. It could still be false because Lex said that it was true.
Right.
But he does like to play with emotions in that aspect.
Yeah.
So it was probably true after all.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, I love that he said, like, I come from darkness.
Yeah.
But you'll always fall into the light.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know whether or not to take that as, like, just the turn of phrase. Or, because he said, you'll always fall into the light.
Yeah.
Like, fall.
Right.
Not just because, like, oh, you'll always
like
end up in the light.
Yeah, like,
because that's another iteration of fall. You just end up there.
Right. Like, even if she might not, even though she might come from, like, you know, the Luther family and all that, like, she's always going to be somebody who falls to that side over, like, him being in the darkness or him.
No, that would just be her ending up there.
Okay.
But, like, if I take it literally, like, she falls into the light,
right.
Then what I could look for is an arc with her where she does actually kind of go evil.
Yeah.
But she'll always fall back into the light. Like, she'll never stay bad if she turns bad. She'll never stay Morgana. She'll always become
We
good.
had to go there, I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was there.
She'll become Merlin. She won't stay Morgana. She'll become Merlin. That's what it's saying. She'll go from Merlin to Morgana to Merlin
because
again.
Arthur's good too.
Yes, but Arthur is I mean, come on, let's just be real. His brain is as good as a peasant's.
Yeah.
And Merlin is, like, magical and has magic knowledge, which is better. So, yes. And I'm sorry, but Supergirl and most of us peasant people don't know that much science.
Yeah.
And she knows more than Lex.
Mm-hmm.
So she's full on up there, like, Merlin Morgana status.
Right.
Right now, at the beginning, she was Merlin. She's kind of working her way, like how she was in the beginning as Morgana.
Yeah.
When she was making that slow turn to evil. That's where she's at right now. And when she becomes Morgana, she'll just fall back to Merlin again. Because she can never stay up here with Morgana.
She can never stay in the darkness.
Exactly. Because she'll always fall back into the light. Like, I mean, I don't know if, like, I'm supposed to read that deep into that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because they do because shows along with books and movies and everything, they like to foreshadow crap. And to foreshadow that she'd fall back into the light.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he said,
right.
You know, like, I come from darkness, but you'll always fall into the light. Like, whether or not that just means, like, you'll always just end up in the light. Like, no matter what you do, you'll always be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll always return to good because that's your core, that's who you are. You can deny it as much as you want, but you'll always fall back to your prime directive using Brainy speak. Okay, speaking like Brainy would, because like he's basically computer stuff.
Yeah.
And so she would always fall back to, that. So. And holy cross, speaking of Brainy.
Right?
Okay, I'm not even going to mention what happened with him and Dreamer, okay? But in his rant of all the crap that's ever been wrong, he said, I am the only one. He said, out of all my ancestors, I'm the only good guy. And I was just like, they finally said it! They finally did it! They finally did it! And like how he was just like, before he said that, he was talking about like some computer what's it stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I was able to glean from it, because I'm not computer savvy, I mean, I can work in computer just fine, guys.
Yeah, you're just not like computer science savvy.
Right. I'm not technologically savvy. Like, I know how to work stuff, basic level. I know more than our parents, let's just put it that way.
Right.
A lot more. A lot more. Just not as much as normal YouTubers. Okay. So, he like, from me, my naive thinking was able to glean from what he said before he said that stuff about his ancestors, is that he's usually able to do what I said, interface with technology.
Yeah.
And because he should have been able to just hijack the damn machine and get his cocoa bar, okay? But there's something about how primitive it is that he can't do that. Yeah. And, like, I've been kind of wondering when his brainy stuff would, like, just kick into, not his logarithmic brain, but...
his logarithm, whatever.
Both. Okay. They're both science-y, mathy stuff.
I know.
But, like, when he'd be able to just use his technological advancements within his... The fudge was that phrase?
I don't know.
To...
to explain it away that technology is just too primitive for him right now. That works for me.
Yeah.
I just needed a reason why he wasn't using his basic power set. Like, I hate that they waited this so freaking long.
So you're glad that they mentioned it.
Yes.
But not that they waited so long.
Yes. Yeah. Like, they're finally starting to touch on the stuff that makes it, which we should have gotten, like, I don't care that they didn't mention it when we still had Saturn Girl and Monel around, because we were focusing on the will they, won't they, I'm married crap.
Yeah.
But, and the crap that she's Saturn Girl, like, anyways. I got issues with that one. Anyway.
Obviously.
Anyways, like, I don't mind that they didn't mention it then, but when he took Wynn's place, it should have been, like, thrown in there, like, not exactly instantaneous, but, like, explain it within the first 2 or 3 episodes that he's on there.
Yeah.
Like, me mad. But at least they finally did it, and we finally know why he's not using that power set.
Right.
I kind of want to see what happens when his... I don't know if it was once a year, once every other year, or whatever. But, like, when like, you have, like, the upload, and he has to connect to the hive mind. And So he has to, like, protect himself from the evil of his family, but he still has to connect himself to them, because it's how, like, things, like, get updated and everything. Because he's essentially a computer. Computer have updates.
Yeah.
To make sure they keep running properly and smoothly. So he still needs that. So I'm wondering if they're going to implement that in there, because it's a thing he has to do. But, I mean, it hasn't really been, like...
it's also just funny to me, too, because,
time.
like, with the whole Keanu Reeves thing, like, he kind of looks like him a little bit.
It's just the hair.
It is the hair.
It's only the hair.
It's only the hair. But still, like, just the
and
fact...
it's not the Neo hair. That's, like, John Wick hair.
No.
He can do a ponytail with that thing. All he has to do is grow, like, the 5 o'clock shadow that...
From the Matrix, right?
No. That's Neo.
Oh, John Wick,
John
you
Wick.
said. Okay.
Has, like, the shadow beard and the ponytail. Like, I mean, all he has to... I mean, he wouldn't look like him, but he'd look more like him. He could totally
I've
cosplay.
seen the Matrix and I've seen John Wick. I just was confused by what you were talking about.
He could totally cosplay or, you know, Halloween.
Yeah.
As Keanu Reeves.
Oh, totally. He could be, like, in a lookalike contest with him.
Nah. But, like...
He could dress up as him.
Yeah. But, like, that he's like, Keanu Reeves' relationship stuff is Bible. Like...
And she's like, whatever you say, Wildcat.
Which freaked me out. Because... Oh, Wildcat. I think is the name of one of the Legionnaires that I couldn't remember.
Wildcats in the house. Everybody da-da-da.
Everybody dance now. But, I mean, I think that's what it was. It was that wolf guy.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not Wild Dog. That's from Kim Possible.
Do. I heard somebody else had that ringtone. I was at school and I was in a computer lab and I heard that ringtone go off and I was like, somebody else likes Kim Possible.
You know, when I had that on my old phone, people thought it was the Power Rangers theme, and I'm like, there is a vast difference between and like,
yeah.
One, there's more
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I know it's Kim Possible. Even though I didn't watch Kim Possible that much, I still know that it's Kim Possible.
Right.
So.
But, I mean, how can you confuse the two?
I don't know. But anyway.
Like, you people our age were confused. I'm like, you grew up on Mighty Morphin. The hell is wrong with you? How do you think that a Kim Possible ringtone is Power Rangers?
Well, it sounds really similar.
F you all. Anyways, off topic.
But yeah, like, the fact that he thinks that that's, like he has to listen to Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me.
Right. But, yeah, it might not have been Wildcat, but Wildcat does remind me, like, it's a hero name, isn't it? Like, it sounds...
Yeah, I just think of High School Musical when I hear Wildcats.
I don't. I own it, but I don't think of it. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's significant to something, though.
Yes.
She wouldn't say that
Exactly.
if it wasn't significant in some way.
She wouldn't whisper it.
Yeah.
And, like, the way she did it, like, I don't know, it just feels like there's so much to it. Like, we could totally be reading into something that's not there.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Yeah.
If it tripped something in my mind...
Then there's a reason for it.
Yeah. You guys tell me what the reason that it hit something in my mind is down below.
Also, this is probably, like, a stupid, like, question, but when James's sister said, you know, you should also be thanking Supergirl because, like, she saved you. Like, was Alex in the room when she said that? You'd think that she would have reacted to that.
They all knew.
But she just still that Kara is Supergirl, right? Okay. Because I was thinking that, like, she would have been like, wait, if Supergirl's in the room and, you know, make the connection that Kara was Supergirl, you know what I mean? Like, I know she didn't, but, like, to me, I was like, well, wouldn't she be, like, freaked out by that? But she wasn't, so.
Yeah, no. She still doesn't know, which is why she was on her butt the entire time about not being there.
Yeah.
And, see, I knew it wasn't Manchester behind the shooting. I knew it.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to shove that in your face so hard. It was Manchester. The way Jean went, this is Manchester. He promised he'd go after my family.
I was just like,
and he's starting with James.
Jean, I think that you're taking it a little too far.
Yeah.
He just has it out for Manchester.
Yeah. But, like, I knew it was Lex. But, I mean, at the same time, Lex is dying of cancer in Lena's house.
Not anymore.
And I'm like, we're not there yet. Okay. And I'm like, it can't be Lex. He's dying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I, like, in my mind, I was just sitting there going, it can't be Lex, but it's not Manchester. Lex is behind it.
I mean, who else would be behind it if it was not Manchester?
Some random bad guy of the week.
Yeah.
But then,
but I mean, them bringing Lex on in the episode and starting that arc off, you have to, I mean, you would have to make the connection that, okay, you know, it's not going to be some random person. Like, this is all connected.
Lex. Right.
Yeah.
But, like, no rando is gonna know that his watch is secretly a communicator that summons the supers to his house.
Right.
Like,
exactly. I wonder how long he was actually there, like, on the ground.
Oof.
Like, hours, maybe?
No, because he wouldn't have just stood over the body for hours.
Yeah. Probably, like, maybe half an hour, maybe.
I don't think so, because the bullet fractured as soon as it went in. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why Lex had that done was so that Lena would be forced to test the serum.
Right.
If you waited any amount of time to summon Supergirl, you could lose that chance because he could die on the floor. Mm-hmm. So he wouldn't have chanced that. It's just the way they cut it into the show that it made it seem like it took longer.
Yeah.
But really, it was like
literally picking right up from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe a minute.
Yeah. Maybe 5 at most.
I don't think so. Probably from what it took from wherever he was standing to walk over. And he wouldn't be running over. He'd be walking. He'd be sauntering over. Just like, la, 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 la. You know, like, slow as hell.
Yeah.
But he'd still get there and click the button and be gone. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the rooms there are rather large. So it could have been like a minute or 2.
Yeah.
At most. And then it took a little bit for Supergirl to get there because he was gone by the time she got there.
Yeah.
So.
And I noticed that, like, every time the Manchester and John stuff was happening, you're just, like, rolling your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, this is just no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's, like, having it out for a person, and there's, like, blaming them for everything, and then there's, like, stepping back and realizing that everything that he's doing is not necessarily directed at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everything he was doing was directed at
him. But he wasn't responsible for that, for what happened to James.
Right.
So. I mean, he is messing with him, essentially.
Yeah. But, I mean, he made friends with Supergirl's friends, too.
Yeah.
So he knows, like, I don't think he would go after a human that wasn't, I mean, like, James fights on the same side they do.
Yeah, exactly. So he
wouldn't go after James.
He doesn't have any reason to.
Right. Like, he doesn't attack Supergirl. Supergirl attacks first.
Yeah.
And she only attacks because they're attacking humans.
Right. And the sole reason, like you said, that James was even shot in the first place was because Lex knew that it would affect Lena because she loves him. And, you know, even though they're not together right now, she still cares for him. Mm-hmm. And that would be the thing that would force her to save him.
Yeah.
By testing that serum.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And, I mean, it supposedly gives you superpowers.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's gonna happen to James.
Yeah. Like.
Because it literally healed up the wound.
Mm-hmm.
I was like.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it's a healing drug because of what happened at the end, but we're not there yet. But I mean, it heals. Yeah. But it also, like, it has to do more. Like,
yeah.
It made the heart invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it do to the body?
Right.
Like, that's the one thing they were never able to test.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious and interested in seeing the ramifications of the drug in James's system.
Mm-hmm.
And who he's going to become.
Yeah. Like, is he still going to be Guardian? Just with powers now instead of, like, just
Guardian was a human.
Yeah.
That fought to protect humans. He can't be Guardian anymore. Not just because he'll get arrested and put in jail. Mm-hmm. But because Guardian was a human.
Yeah.
He's now more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't wear the Guardian mask. He has to become someone else. Mm-hmm. I had to become someone else. Someone else. Something else. The Arrow. Yes, I know I'm boring, Kitty. It just yawned at me.
No, he's just waking up. You're just waking up.
But, I mean...
Yeah.
Who would he be?
I don't know.
I'm at a loss. Like, because, as we've stated very much on this channel, I know a little bit of comic stuff. Yeah. I don't know a lot. Mm-hmm. I know enough to say that James Olsen never became a superpowered vigilante.
Right.
So, I'm just wondering what character he's taking over. Like, what character this is supposed to be that he has, like, taken from.
Well, yeah, I know the serum has to have powers contained with it. But mm-hmm. I was going to say that maybe he will just be healed and not have the powers or the abilities, but that's not what's going to happen. So, right. Yeah, I'm curious too. And, like, I typically don't really know anything about the comics unless, unless I kind of just know some stuff because of you or, like, mm-hmm. looking things up. So
right.
Anything that I watch, like, I'm going into it just with that knowledge. Like, mm-hmm. I don't have
just with what you've seen.
Any previous knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So
we're working on that.
Well, wasn't Captain Marvel actually a man in the comics? Or was that always a female character? Because I think that it was a man in the comics, right?
I think originally the very first Captain Marvel might have been Shazam.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Shazam is DC.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Shazam.
The Shazam movie is DC.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. What? Why did my mind just do that?
I don't know.
I
Probably
don't
because
know.
that's the next superhero movie coming out.
Probably. But
No, that's DC.
yeah. No. Captain Marvel. You had Marvel, which, as we find out, you know, spoilers. I'm not saying it.
Right.
But
I love the play on words they did with Fury and Marvel though in the movie. That was awesome. Where she's like, it's Marvel, it's 2 words, and he's like, yeah, but Marvel's cool too.
Yeah, but that's how she got her name. Is she coined her superhero persona after that person, who was the original hero that she idolized and learned from and whatever.
Right.
But in the comics, at least in the original thing, I don't know if they changed it with all the new stuff that they reboot everything. But that's how Rogue got her powers. Okay. I mean, you know how Rogue from X-Men can, like, drain your... That's her. But if you read the comics or if you watched the animated X-Men show from the 90s... 90s. She has flight and strength and stuff too. Okay. She has a lot of other things. Come to find out, she got them because she touched Captain Marvel for way too long. And now Marvel is in a coma, like, permanently. And she's with her, she has a subset of Captain Marvel's powers.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of like Marvel just fell off the scene because she.
But Carol Danvers is
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, even in the comics, that's canon. Okay.
Yeah. Carol
I just kept thinking of Supergirl with Danvers. I was
know.
But I mean, I know Supergirl's DC, so.
Yeah. I don't know why my brain did that. I feel so embarrassed now. Yeah.
I was like, that's DC.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was on Justice League, so I don't know why my brain did that.
I'm excited for that, though. It's gonna be funny.
It is. But, yeah. Anyways. Supergirl.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, you had a question.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, I legitimately, like, don't know about the comics. Unless, like, you know, I've heard about it, like, with The Flash. You know, I'll know some stories. I'll know that Barry and Iris were canon in the comics as well as, like, the TV show.
Right, and then I made you watch the cartoon Flashpoint, so you know how Flashpoint was supposed to
go. So, like, I know some of those things, but I'm not, like, super well-versed in any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna become.
Yeah.
So.
I can't think of it. I don't.
I think these last however many episodes that are left are gonna just be really, like, really great. Because we're gonna, like, learn probably. Like, we're going to see what James is going to become now because of the serum. And then we're also going to see all of the Lex stuff and, like, all of that. So, and then hopefully we know Lena can always go back to the light. But it'll be really cool to see her go to the evil side for a little bit.
I don't think she's going to go to the evil side yet. We have to get rid of Lex.
True.
You can't have 2 evil Luthers running around.
But I mean, Morgana, though.
I know. Like, you could see a tinge of that tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when we flash to the future at the beginning of the... not the future, to the past in the beginning of the episode. And we saw Lex's whole red sun art.
Yeah.
Like, and Lena was tied up in his office and he was having his pretty usual villain monologue.
Yeah.
I mean, like, every villain.
Right.
Every villain ever always goes through the damn monologue.
Yup.
But, like, sometimes I wonder, why don't you just attack the villain while he's monologuing? Instead of just standing there like a buffoon and listening.
Right. Then it would just solve everything.
Yeah. But like the look on her face, like when she was trying to like give some comeback to him.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, there it is, and there's Morgana right there.
That sassiness.
That look on her face. That's Morgana.
Yeah.
Like, I know when we first started doing this, season 2, I was just like, I hope she never becomes Morgana. Like, she can't become evil. She's amazing. I never want that.
Well, I'll admit that, like, there were times when I was watching Merlin where I got really annoyed with, like, her and just what she was doing. I was like, seriously, are you just ever gonna stop being this way? Like, being so evil? You know? Because I liked her before in the first few seasons.
Yeah, so did I.
And then she got involved with that freaking woman who, you know, taught her all of the bad ways. But, I don't know, like, it's just cool to see her, like, just play something different, but also kind of have those touches of that evil kind of and that darkness. Even though she's, like, trying to be better than her name, you know, her family name, and do something good. Like, there's always going to be a tinge of darkness there. So, because she's a Luther and she'll never be able to get away from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like James's sister?
I did, but I also took issue with her.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I know she needed to be there for the whole next of kin family thing. And, you know, there was a reason for it.
But I don't remember James ever having family.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, who was gonna come? Like,
right? He doesn't have family.
I was like, who's gonna show up if they're not allowed to go back there? And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm the next of kin, and I'm like, he has a sister?
Right? Like, that wasn't the first thing that popped in my mind. The first thing that popped in my mind is, like, without Kara being there, how did she know that was the right group of people and that the doctor was asking for his next of kin?
Yeah.
Like, because she didn't know any of them. She knew Kara. So how did she know, oh yeah, I'm next of kin? It could have been some random white dude that needed next of kin.
Maybe she was, like, kind of off to the side and she heard him, like, say his name or something, so she knew.
Right.
I mean, that's the only explanation I have.
Right? But, like, they did it so far off of camera.
True.
That it just seemed like she was so far down the hall when they were saying the name James.
Yeah. And
they never said Olsen, so it's like, it could have been, like, Jameson Huckleby. Like, for crying out loud. Like, I mean, I was trying to think of, like, some like, I don't know. You know, like.
The most like.
Yeah.
Superhero name. Type thing that you would hear on a show like that. Yeah, I get it.
Like, I mean, you know, it could have been.
It could have been anybody named James. James is a common name. It could have been just a random white guy named James. Like,
or, like, any race. Like, it could have been Native American or Indian or Asian.
Just anybody named James. There could have been multiple James in the hospital.
Yes. It could have been a 10-year-old little boy. Like... Issue started there. and then, like, I don't know, like...
Yeah. So what else was your issue? Oh, her attitude, yeah.
It's just, like, I get, like, how when her and Alex made up, she's like, so army, right? And she's like, yeah, psychiatrist.
And I mean, I understand that, like, with the whole surgery thing, she didn't want, you know, James... She was the one who didn't want him to have it, right? His sister?
His sister wanted the surgery.
She wanted it, okay. And then Alex didn't.
Right.
Okay. So, when they were going over that, it's like, yeah, it could be life-threatening, but also the surgery could save him. Yeah, he could die, but he could also live. Like, there's always going to be risks. But if they don't do anything, don't do something, and just leave him in the coma,
right. Like, his
he's
sister
not gonna
wanted
get
the
better.
surgery, but that could
Yeah.
be, like, worse than dying.
It could be a 50-50 chance or less,
like, he didn't have a chance of dying from the surgery. It was just that, like, if they didn't do this, like, if they didn't do the surgery, he'd die.
Right.
If they did the surgery, is almost a fate worse than death.
Yeah,
like,
because he'd probably be paralyzed.
More than paralyzed. I mean, yes, paralyzed covers it. But when you think paralyzed, you think of what was initially said, like he'd never walk again.
Right.
Okay. But, like, paralyzed, like, to what extent?
Right.
Will he be able to speak?
Right.
Can he open his eyes? Can he breathe on his own?
Right.
Like, what life are you ushering in for your brother?
Exactly.
And, I mean, with the type of person he is...
that would not
even being in the chair is not an option.
Right.
He is not Barbara Gordon, people.
Who's Barbara Gordon?
Batgirl.
Okay.
Who gets shot by the Joker.
I figured it was related to Batman, but I couldn't. I'm sorry.
In the Killing Joke, the story arc, the Joker finds out who Batgirl is and wants to take revenge on Batman, as always. And actually, no, that's not how it is. He just lucked out. He knows Mr. Gordon, the chief.
Commissioner Gordon.
Right. And so he's like, okay, I know him.
Daughter?
I know him and Batman are tight. So I'm gonna hurt both of them by hurting her.
Okay.
He goes, knocks on the door, she answers it, and he shoots her point blank. You are left believing she is dead, bleeding out on the floor. And then later on, you see her in a wheelchair. And she becomes Oracle, which is why Chloe in Smallville couldn't take the name Oracle, because Barbara Gordon becomes Oracle.
Okay.
Well, she's basically got Chloe's job.
Yeah.
She's the Felicity Smoke, the Chloe Sullivan. She's the first of them. But she's what they're based on.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right. But, like, I mean,
for Arrow, Felicity is essentially that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Arrow is like the Batman of the DC TV universe.
Until next season.
Yeah. But I just mean, like, currently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew that it was related to Batman. I just couldn't remember who her, like, superhero was. I knew, like, Gordon was Batman because Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
But I thought Gotham. Like, after I said that, I was like, Gotham. But,
yeah. But, like, it took a while, but she slowly became okay with it.
Yeah. But see, James, like, that wouldn't be that life for him. Like, so I understand, like, where both of them were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But
she just wanted him alive. But Alex was going, that's not a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
like,
give him a
she
chance.
Knows him. She's around him more.
Mm-hmm.
She knows the type of person that he is. And she knows that he would not be happy with that.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, but as a viewer who knows the intimate ins and outs of every character on the show because we are shown it, we didn't know he had living relatives for 4 damn years.
Yeah, we didn't.
So...
the middle of, or past the middle, but like mid-season 4. And we're just now finding out that he had a sister.
Right.
I mean, yeah, of course he has a mom. Everybody has a mom.
Well, yeah, but, like, she could have been dead.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, his parents could have passed.
Right. But I mean,
could have been estranged.
We did not know any of his other family. We assumed that they were his family. And even his sister was like, yeah, he's a chosen family type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So he chose them as his family.
Right.
But because they're not next of kin or blood relatives, they don't have...
it was, I mean, next of kin is, like, unless, like, someone has it documented that they are who they go to, then it does fall to blood.
Okay.
But if he would have went in ahead of this, because, I mean, he's James. He should have known that this would be inevitable.
Right.
He could have marked Kara or Alex or Lena or any of them as his next of kin.
Mm-hmm.
But he hadn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just said that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't have been introduced to this character we don't give two shits
and
about.
she's probably only going to be on this episode and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not going to see her again.
Maybe she'll show up next week, too, because James is still going to be in recovery.
Yeah, maybe, but we're not going to see her, like, regularly.
Right. No. After everything's, like, discovered that James is just, like, perfectly fine, and she's gone.
Yeah.
And we'll never see her again. This was pointless.
They just brought in a character to
They added a character that, as far to my knowledge, has never existed in the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What was her name?
I have no idea.
I just know it was something Olsen. But yeah, like, it would have solved a lot of problems if they just been like, okay, you know, you're the next of kin. If he'd gone in and been like, okay, you know, Alex or Kara, you'd think that it would have been Kara or Lena. I mean, Lena because they were together.
Right.
But I mean, Kara because, like, essentially,
she would always be there.
Right. Kara is like a sister to him.
And she's Supergirl.
Yeah, and she's
so
Supergirl.
It's like she'll always be there, period.
Yeah.
There's nothing keeping her away because she can't die.
Exactly. So, I mean, the logical person that he would make his next of kin would be her.
Like, it was pointless to introduce us to a character that had no right being there.
Yeah. Just adding extra drama and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if Kara was next of kin, then she wouldn't have been able to run off with...
yeah. But I mean, so his sister wanting him to get the surgery, that would have made him be paralyzed?
He was already paralyzed.
Okay. But I mean, do you mean that would have made it just so that he would be kept alive, not actually, like, help him?
He was bleeding internally.
Okay.
So it would keep him alive. But the
it
risk was so high for it to be worse.
Okay. So the risk was significantly higher than the chance of anything actually being better. Like,
right. Nothing would have gotten better. He just wouldn't be dying.
Okay. They would have just stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
But he still would have been paralyzed.
Probably worse.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just clarifying that. Because usually surgery does the opposite. It usually is supposed to help you and reverse the effects. Not always, but usually.
Yeah, but I mean, if they've done something to the best extent that they could.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he was in induced coma.
Yeah.
And...
just to keep the swelling down.
Right. And, so there's something there already.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're in induced coma or whether you're in coma.
Right.
Like, it's still extremely, risky to go under again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he had just come out of surgery.
Right.
The more consecutive surgeries that you go...
the higher the risk is.
Exactly. And your body hasn't had time to
heal itself.
Well, it's not just heal. Like, your body has been traumatized by the event.
Yeah.
By the catalyst.
Right.
And now you're going through a surgery which is invasive on the inner tissues of your body.
Mm-hmm. And they're being exposed to air, and they're being exposed to bacteria and risk.
And then, again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's much worse.
The fact that Lena did what she did, even though, it, was being used as a test subject.
Right.
Was still essentially the better option, because it helped him.
Yeah. If the surgery would have been completed and everything, and he wouldn't have gotten the shot, then he probably would have. He would have never walked again.
Yeah, and he would have just been a character that just wasn't.
He might have been a vegetable.
Yeah.
And
that's no way to live.
No. But
because you'd be paying all this money for him to get a surgery that would just be keeping him alive, but he wouldn't really be able to function in a normal way and have a normal life again.
Exactly.
And Alex is like, no, because that's not what he would want.
Right. I mean, she didn't come out and say it, but essentially that's what she was saying.
Yeah. So I'm just anxious to see, where it's going to go for his character now that he's been injected with the serum.
Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully he comes back into the storyline.
Yeah.
And has a better story arc.
Yeah.
Although
they're probably focusing so much on Lex that he might not get that.
I mean, him and Lex have a past.
Yeah, true. And because he knows Superman.
And Lex knows he knows Superman.
Yeah.
He's pretty famous for knowing Superman.
Right. So James is going to be in the story no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Just with powers this time.
And then I guess we've kind of about
we've pretty much gotten our.
I mean, we did not mention the kiss.
Yes, but yay! Okay. But hopefully that means that even though he said what he said, like, they'll still end up being together.
Oh, they will. The look on her face.
She's the one who initiated the kiss, so she obviously wants it to go somewhere. Yeah. And he's just being like, oh, well, it's never going to work between us because it happened.
Reeves says so.
Because it happened in a moment of intense, emotion. And relationships that happen in intense emotions don't work out.
Not always.
That's not always true. Usually that actually brings you closer because it helps you bond because you both went through the same traumatic, intense situation and you both understand it and have that connection because of it.
Right.
Or it was just eventually going to bring you together because of that situation and you already had the feelings for each other, but that situation caused you to actually physically be together.
To act on it.
And to act on it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Keanu Reeves is not always right, brother.
Hand on the Reeves Bible. Like, what? But, okay.
His word is fact.
Right? His word is international biblical law. Intergalactic biblical law. Throughout time and space.
Like the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there. That's Star Trek, and I'm not doing that.
Oh, I know. I used that term because I knew it was like you'd be like, ha!
Yeah, but I was thinking in my head, I'm like, nope, not gonna do it.
I know.
Not gonna do it.
I know. I was testing you. But so onward.
Yes. Onward, Christian soldiers.
Marching as to war. With the cross of Jesus going on before.
Onward, my fellow comrades.
Truth, justice, and the American way. I don't know. Anyway.
Lex did the thing.
He did the Lex thing that I was calling the entire episode.
Yep.
You left him alone with the stuff. Why would you
not leave Lex Luthor alone?
Right?
With your stuff.
Like, it was bad the first time you did it, but the second time?
Shame on you, Lena. Shame.
I have no words.
You had one job.
Well, actually, the DOD had one job. And they effed that up.
Well, anyway, the DOD, you had one job.
Yes.
I just wanted an excuse to use that.
Right. I thought the guy was dead. I thought he had died. Just like Lena did.
Yeah.
Like, I thought him and his
sister...
I
thought you was dead.
I thought he was dead. He's saying, I'm not dead.
That was so random.
And
I mean, I know they had to like get Lena in that situation to
Mhm.
further the Lex arc that they're doing.
yeah.
So I mean, obviously he was gonna do that to Lena no matter what, probably because he's Lex.
Mm-hmm.
But still, on her part, like, shame. Don't leave him alone with your equipment. What?
You said shame, and my mind went to Game of Thrones.
Oh,
shame.
Lord.
Ding, shame. Ding. Ring, 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 shame, ring, 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 ring. Either they had the queen walk through the streets naked as punishment. They scalped her, basically.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Game of Thrones.
And then the nun had a bell walking behind her going, shame, dude, like ringing it.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me that a nun would do that.
Well,
but...
I mean, she was nun-like. It wasn't actually like a Christian religion. I mean,
it was before Christ, right?
No,
does
Game
it
of
take
Thrones
place?
is a fantasy world.
Okay, but does it take place in BC or AD?
There's none of that there.
Okay.
The whole Christianity, everything is not a
Okay.
thing. But like it was nun-like, right?
Yeah.
She had a big silver bell she was ringing. Shame, right? She had a whip. Shame, and then people were throwing crap at her. And she was the queen. It was awesome. And
Wow.
I mean, she's an evil biatch anyway.
Well, anyway.
You said shame, and my mind just went.
I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, like, I know it was the DOD also that had a job, but, like, Lena did too. You don't leave, like, especially your
Lex.
brother,
Yes.
Lex. You don't leave him alone.
Right? With something that could effing cure him?
Right. Because, of course, he's going to take full advantage of that.
Yes.
He's Lex friggin' Luthor.
Yes.
Like, if the opportunity arises to cure himself of his disease, of course he's going to take it.
Yup.
I mean, anybody would. But, I mean, he's going to go to great lengths because of who he is.
Right.
So.
And then, the moment at the end made me go, holy crap. Miss Tessmacher!
Right?
Holy crap! Like, oh, I did not see
She was playing Lena the whole time.
Yes. Like, we never heard her whole name. Like,
that was for a reason.
Yeah. Like, if I heard Tessmacher, I'd be like, oh no, girl, get away from her.
That was the whole point.
Like, we called her Tess or Tessa or something.
I think it was Tess. I don't know.
I mean,
Tess just makes me think of Smallville.
Right. Tess Luthor.
Yeah.
Yes. But, like, What?
So is Tess essentially supposed to be Lena in Smallville then? Okay.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, like...
I mean, a humanitarian version of her, yes.
But that was totally for a reason. They were keeping that whole thing.
Yes.
The way that
I
they
loved
did
her,
for a
too.
reason. Yeah.
Like, they made you like her.
I was like, wait.
This is the best reveal they've done in so long on any of the Arrowverse shows.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the whole Nora thing was amazing, but everybody called it.
Of course.
We all knew.
And I mean, there's probably people who knew with Tess, too.
I don't know.
With this character, Tess.
I mean, unless it was on her IMDb before tonight. Then...
But I mean, there's probably people that, when they found out that Lex was going to be coming on and they were going to do that arc, that...
Well, Tessmacher isn't the only slut he's had with him.
I know, but I'm just saying, because she was working with Lena, and then they're bringing on Lex,
right?
They might have made the connection that, oh, she's Miss Tessmacher.
Well, I don't see how they would make that connection, because, like I said, he's had many other people working for him. Like, female people.
Yeah.
And, like, they weren't all Tessma. You know?
I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
Lana did it not on her own volition.
No, I know. But she was married to him and had a baby with him.
No, she did. The baby was faked. She was never pregnant.
I know. But she did a good job of making him think that she was.
And she thought so.
I know.
They were giving her, like, some sort of thing that made her think she was pregnant with this baby. She's like, oh, no, I don't want this thing.
It's like Phoebe and the demon child.
Yeah, but she wanted to get pregnant. Come on now.
Yeah, she did.
She just didn't want a demon baby.
Well, who wants a demon baby?
I don't know, the Flurry Girl or whatever cat thing. Anyways, like, oh, like, when he said the whole, the technology that they used for him to become somehow the cloning technology, as soon as he said that, I was like, they're gonna hook her up to that chair, put that technology on her, and make everyone think she's Lex for the rest of her life. Until she finds a way out. I am calling that. Like,
they're probably gonna end the season with, like, her being in the chair and, like, that.
Still in prison?
Yeah, and then trying to find her way out.
I mean, the only way that she'd be able to get out is if, like, she got a message to someone.
Yeah. And then, like, it'll end the season with, like, her message getting to somebody, and then they'll, like, make it all vague and cryptic.
Yeah, but if she's in prison, she has to get it out, like, they'd have to accept her call or accept her mail.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have any way of proving unless they listen to Lex.
Right.
Which is her.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and he cloaked the mansion, which we saw a season or two ago. That just makes me think of the Mom song.
That was pretty cool, though. I mean, yeah, Mom is funny. That show comes on at night.
No, not Mom. The song. I'm the mom, I'm the mom. Like, it goes with that. I'll make you watch it. It's really short. But it's amazing. But, like, in every iteration, the Luthor Mansion always has a lot of things, you know, that go boom.
Yeah. So he just activates them?
Yeah.
And just, like, psh, psh, psh,
right.
know.
He activated the bombs, and so he, like, they're on time, like, once one set off, another will. So he, like, knew when they'd go off. So he's just, like...
Yeah, like, conducting an orchestra, like, woo,
yes.
woo, woo, you know.
Yes. But...
He is one of the greatest villains.
He is. He is. So he's gonna fly away. And
then he sees Supergirl.
Right.
Supergirl, it's so great to finally meet you.
Hey, shoot him down. Make the thing explode. Please. Just kill him. He might be unkillable now.
But, yeah, he might be.
Because of the serum, because of the heart that's unkillable. So...
Yeah. He might be immortal. Because we do see, like, from that trailer that they showed, where they showed, like, more scenes of Lex and, like, the arc that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's in court and he's like, Superman made me do it.
Last week, yeah. Superman made me do it.
But, yeah.
Superman made me do it. I can only do that so many times before I can't do it with but I think that was, like, back when, not current or future.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the past. Like, when he got caught and sentenced for doing the Red Sun.
Yeah. But we'll still probably see it in flashback.
Maybe. But he has somehow he has control over all the crap that's been going down in Russia.
Yeah,
Like, he's been in prison for 4 years. The Russian Supergirl only landed last season. Like...
Yeah, she did.
So, I mean, it was the beginning of last season.
Yeah. Was it?
Wasn't it?
I thought it was like the...
Was it mid-season?
I thought it was like closer to the end of last season.
If it wasn't last season, then it was mid-season.
Okay.
Like, if it wasn't the beginning, then it was the mid.
Yeah.
Because we had the cliffhanger, and then...
Yeah, I think it was mid.
Mm-hmm. So, like...
I lose track, man.
Right. So, like, that whole thing. He's been in prison for 4 years. I'm sorry, he's been in an American prison for 4 years. And Supergirl knows... Okay, not Supergirl. Okay. Red Daughter knows what he looks like. I follow you anywhere, Mr. Luther. Like... Mr. Luther, I follow you anywhere. Like...
That's a pretty good Russian accent.
Thank you. But... How do you know that's Mr. Luther? Why would you follow him anywhere?
I will follow you
like,
to the ends of the earth, Mr. Luther.
Why would she trust him over the people that raised her?
I don't know. Maybe he offered her a deal of some kind.
I don't know. And as for the accent, when I read stories and stuff, like, with my mom, like, we take turns reading it because, you know, you can only read out loud for so long.
Yeah.
I like to do the accents with the characters to kind of bring the character to life.
Nice.
So I try to do the accents. I don't always get the Aussie one down.
The Aussie one.
Yeah. The
Aussie.
But I do like doing, like, the Russian and the British stuff.
Russia.
Yes. I like seeing the W. I like seeing the V.
Vodka.
Yeah, I like seeing the V and making
just watch the Star Trek movies and listen to Chekhov, and you'll be able to speak Russian.
Yeah.
Like, because he's Russian.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it's just what is going on.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for how long this is, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Do you guys get why she'd follow him?
No.
But at least we know we're finally going to get to see Supergirl be Supergirl.
Yes.
We've been waiting for that for a season and a half. Basically. So, I guess...
Yeah. And
until
next time,
love yourself and be happy!